All right, so as you can see, we're in another mine today. As we start going through this one, you'll notice that the cart rails have all been pulled out. You can see pretty much all of that is gone at this point. The workings here are a drift that follow a vein in from the surface. And I can see up ahead here, we're already encountering a few stalls here, some timbering. It looks like a little bit of a stope up ahead here. And then off to the left here, we have a drift as well. Looks pretty small overall. We'll stick to the rule of rights and we'll stay on the main drift, main tunnel right now. And we'll come back and we'll check this out on the way back out. As we're walking through here, check out the timber work here above us. Pretty impressive there. Look at the ends of those timbers there. You can see how they're, I'll try to adjust the brightness here. You guys can see, there we go, how those are literally cut down with an axe. You can see the hewed angles on those are pretty cool. All right, here we go. We'll go a little farther back here. Little rock fall there has come through the timbers. These appear to be old juniper logs based on the wood grain. Like how they've got the timbers in the center here to support the weight of that as well. So the overall stope area there is relatively small. But it looks like we keep going here. Check out the yellow, very sulfur-rich calcite there. Pretty cool looking. It also becomes a lot more of an echo in this area. The rock's very solid here. Very little signs of fracturing. This mine's largely been lost for decades as the portal had completely caved. See some of the stalactites that you guys see there coming down. Some of the flowstone, you have some columns forming there, pretty cool. Keep walking back here. Pretty wet ground throughout the mine here. A little bit of iron, staining here and there. Do see some signs of quite a bit of water dripping through the back, as evidenced by all the stalactites overhead. But you see little dead pools of cave pearls and that around here as well. Obviously a lot more iron over this way here as well. More stalactites here. Keep wandering farther back on this drift. Looks like it might face out up here. Or it could possibly turn to the left there as well. Obviously some of the old anchors up above us here as well in the back. Support probably the old airline. Oh yeah, you see they kept going on the, oh yeah, it does literally drift on the vein off to the left here. And you see how they kept going initially, pushing in that, trying to follow that vein as they chased it into the mountain here. And found that, oh, it doesn't go this way, so then obviously followed it over here. It gets significantly narrower here. Obviously an act of desperation at that point, hoping that they would encounter another viable vein here. That echo is absolutely crazy here. A little bit of a cave here. See some timbers there. Oh, we have water here as well now. A little bit of a vein there. You can see they cut the main drift this way. It looks like it branches 3 different directions here. So we got a drift back there. Again, we'll worry about that on the way back out. It looks like it might pinch out right there anyway, or face out. So we're gonna step into the water here. You look in the water, then I'm gonna turn the other light off there. You notice there is some dynamite boxes or pieces of dynamite boxes in there. Under the water there, pretty cool. So this drift here faces out pretty much right away within the first 10 feet. See a lot of iron coming through there. Some timber laying in here, dimensional lumber. Probably was their powder magazine, considering we're finding pieces of dynamite box in this area here. Could have stored some powder back there, pretty cool. More very yellow calcite here. That is gorgeous. I know it's hard to see there with the super bright lights down here. That's pretty impressive. Let's continue down the main drift here a bit farther. And there is still no end in sight. Now this is really crazy here, because you guys see this? It's hard to see. I'm gonna turn the light here off. You can see a little better. Obviously over here, you can see it's water. This is all calcified. So this is literally a solid floor of the mine of all calcite here. That's pretty impressive. Wow, this just keeps going. I mean, there's still no end in sight. Beautiful stalactites overhead here. Ah, some gorgeous yellow calcite here. Beautiful. I hope you guys can see that. I'll try to adjust the color here a little bit so you guys can see that. Really nice calcite. Gorgeous formations. Oh, nice accumulation here of sludge. Step around that. Can't tell, but up ahead here, it looks like I might face out there a little ways up here, or maybe turn to the right or left again. Find out here soon. More calcite here. More planking as well through this part. No sign of cart rails in this area, or even the cross ties, so they might have oh, there's, never disregard that. There's cross ties up here. They're just buried in the mud. This looks like it turns to the left again. And as you're noticing here, you're not seeing any definite sign of a vein anywhere here. Looks like they drifted, yeah, to the left again. Wow. More planking here, lots of wood laying on the ground. Lots of heavy accumulation of calcite there. And still no sign of a face. Maybe way around the corner up there. Really nice stalactites here again. Take the light down there to see those. Beautiful formations everywhere. Look at this flowstone. Isn't that gorgeous? Turn my light off here. I'll give you my hand to show you kind of overall size. I mean, look how huge that is. Absolutely gorgeous. Love that. Beautiful there. Okay, we'll continue further back. More flowstone there. Interesting stalactites all over here as well. These are beautiful. Again, getting rather narrow in areas here. It either faces out directly ahead of us here, or once again turns to the left, but it's looking like it faces out. They preliminarily explored part of a vein here. A little bit of drift off to the behind us here to the left. See a little bit of a vein there that they cut and worked a little bit. Obviously didn't go very far with this side here either, so telling us obviously not very productive. A lot of broken stalactites, calcite, and all that down there. And this does appear to officially be the face. Wow, significantly deeper than anticipated. And as you can see here, pretty barren on the, where I'm shining the bright light right there. You will notice a bit of quartz, this is a biotite there, and that as well. Undoubtedly what they're following and hope would ultimately mineralize better than what they found. Bit of a lens right there they cut as well. But other than that, pretty much the end of the line. Take a look over here and see what else we can find. Now, I'll turn the other light off here. This is all biotite by the looks of it there, so that's not obviously anything too exciting. And obviously very thin too. You can see how that was a lens there at one time. Here on the face, we definitely have a few signs of drill holes. Like there's a nice drill hole going up right there. There's one back here. All hand drilled, of course. You see another very well defined drill hole right there that they worked. And that's the end of the line. I'm not sure in the video if you guys can hear that echo behind us, but the resonance through the mine here is absolutely incredible. And more of the ore on the ground here. We have some different chunks of looks like a little bit of sulfide and stuff there. Nothing too exciting with that. A lot of quartz laying around there. Overall, a really interesting mine, and we do have a couple of the drifts to check, so we're going to go back and check those right now. So you guys will join us back at that portion of the mine. We'll see you here in just a minute. All right, we're back at the junction there where we have the different drifts here. So obviously that was the main drift we went down initially. This is the old powder magazine drift. We're assuming with that our supply drift. We'll check that out after. Then we have this drift here that we can clearly see is partly caved. So I'm gonna take one of these lights away just so we can see a little bit better or maneuver through this a little better, because it definitely looks tight back here. We'll see what we can see as we get farther back here. This drift is extremely narrow and partially backfilled. They might have worked this and then fired the last round or two and just not bothered mucking any of it out. But this definitely gives the indication that it was worked to maybe explore it a little bit, and then they just called it quits on it, because this definitely looks backfilled, or they just never mucked it after they blasted. Have a couple little pockets here, and then we'll see what we can see back here. Need an electro light. That looks like about it right there. So once again, turning this light off, we'll give ourselves another hand to maneuver here. Oh yeah, you can see that's pretty much it. That is the extent of this drift here. You can see that it goes back a little ways. Have some fine mold forming in different spots here. Some sticks back here. At first I thought those were some pieces of fuse, but yeah, that's about it. Nothing goes up. That's the extent of these workings. So nothing too exciting, but still cool to come back and check out. We can see that they obviously were hopeful something would materialize here and did not. All right, let's check out that first drift we encounter closer to the surface. So we're gonna head back and check that out right now. See you guys soon. Here we're back at that first drift that we encountered when we came in from the surface. You guys will see a little bit of that stope above there now where we're looking at those logs earlier, and we're gonna follow the drift that went off to the left here. You can see it's pretty much faces out right here, but it's still nice to be able to show you guys what's here and how much narrower this is than the rest of the mine we've gone through so far. Have some nice minerals forming in there. Look at the calcite and that stuff there. Have some more crystals over here as well. Step over that carefully. And this faces out right there. I mean, at this point back here, we're looking at probably maybe 4 foot tall, 2.5 feet wide at max here. And you can see it faces out right over here. Looks like it went a little bit gap underneath there. Went up and followed part of that vein, which in this area here looks like we're about maybe 1/4 to 1/2 inch diameter. Very, very insignificant. Pretty cool overall though. Pretty cool mine. We're gonna start working our way back out to the main area here. I want to show you guys a little bit more of that timber work around the stoped area there as well. So let's go check that out. I'll see you guys there in just a minute. Here we are at that timbered area, the stope I was telling you guys about. You'll see here that we have the main stoped area here, a lot of the timbering and that here you see everywhere through this part of the mine. And then what's above us, you obviously see that there's plenty of timber that's come down, maybe a rotted set here, some debris over there, and then obviously the nice bow to this timber here, which probably won't be around too much longer. But as we look up above us here, you guys are gonna see that it keeps going up there, and you'll notice that there's a little bit of a, we'll say a raise going up right there. So there actually might be more of this mine than meets the eye. So we'll check that out here, but just want to say thanks for joining us today on this adventure. Been fun to show this mine off to you guys. Look forward to seeing you the next time around.